Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Grow Shopping. Great day for doing a garden update, or great day for planting and transplanting and growing. Been very busy putting the seedlings in, doing a new tray as usual. Lots of growth, overcast day. We've just had about 5 or 10 mil of rain that came down all at once. A really good day for going around the garden with an umbrella and figuring out where the water goes. Seeing if you can do anything with it, if it's running off anywhere. Had some really big wins this week, particularly in the broccoli department, as you'll find out. And yeah, big changes with the took out all the corn, took out all the tomatoes. So half of the Galaxy garden behind me there is looking fairly bare. Just new seedlings now and beans that are still on the way up. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. I'll see you shortly. Just peeling corn. We are going to try, this is the Silvermine corn that we grew. Some of them, like this one, are really fat and plump, which are awesome. And from what I've read, it's not fantastic just straight eating, like boiling corn, but it is great for corn flour. And so I thought we'd give doing some tortillas a go out of our own corn flour or cornmeal. Get the corn so you can see it all and remove the silks. And there you go. It's pretty good looking stuff. And this is the pile I'm putting it on. I'm going to hang them up like this from something in the garage and let the corn kernels completely dry out. And then we can just break them off the corn cob and use them however we want, which in this case I think is going to be some grinded up to make corn flour and make some tortillas, homemade tortillas with our own corn. Awesome stuff. I'm just here getting rid of the rest of the corn. The remaining ears were not doing anything special even after the rain we've just had, and so I've just took the whole lot down. And there is a couple of beans growing up, which is great. And so next I'm starting on the tomatoes, and there is loads of tomatoes on here. But I don't know if you can see on these tomatoes all the fruit fly bites in them. And so yes, they're not going to do anything. So I'm going to take the whole lot out. And that's the end of tomatoes for this year, at least in this part of the garden. And the plan for the end of February, March and getting into April is to compost all of the Galaxy garden beds, which means I'm going to need quite a lot. So I'm going to sieve the rest of this and fill 2 beds with it. Hopefully there'll be enough. I just finished filling this bay up yesterday with all the corn, tomatoes. The stuff on top is chicken floor scrapings, which gives me some great brown material to mix in with that, full of chicken poo hopefully. And then the one on the end underneath the Hessian bags is the stuff. Oh, look at that. The stuff that is nearly ready. So I'm going to turn that when I've finished sieving the end bay here. I'm going to turn the other end into it, and hopefully it'll be done. That'll give me a chance to have a look at it and see whether it's done. And I'll start filling the left hand bay up with, there is tons of stuff in the garden that needs to go in here, mainly tomatoes and probably the odd pumpkin vine that's doing unruly things. So yes, we'll get on with that. I don't know if you remember, but last fortnight I planted out 2 trays worth of fairly miserable seedlings, and I was hoping they would get to looking something like this. And so this is the first tray that I planted in half compost, half potting mix, and it is looking fantastic, especially this lettuce at the end here. The only thing that hasn't gone well in it is the coriander, and I just think it's the wrong season for it here, but I've been trying nonetheless. I'm going to have another go this week. And this is the seed tray I planted last fortnight, which is already looking great. There's quite a bit of weed seeds in there, but there's a lot of positive growth, and hopefully next fortnight I'll be able to transplant out most of those. So all of these are going to go in either the wicking beds or the Galaxy garden, because half of those poor seedlings that I transplanted have either died or been eaten. So yes, we've got some plants that stand a way better chance of survival this fortnight. The harvest for today, been clearing out quite a few things: beans, leeks, a couple of good looking beetroot, and some excellent kohlrabi. And I have demolished the cucumber vines, and the produce is starting to get a tad second hand, and we've obviously forgotten a few. But yeah, they're good. Some of them are good juices, some of them are good on the table. So I thought I'd clear it out, and we're getting into the spuds. And then last but not least, the Pièce de Résistance, my first ever broccoli head that I've managed to catch before it goes to seed. I love it. Amazing stuff. This bed is Mercury, and when I started growing the garden I planted potatoes in there. So that's 6 months ago, or 7 or 8 months ago now. I just want to show you actually 7 or 8 months of growing veggies in wood chip and compost, no other fertiliser, and worm wee, no other fertiliser, no unnatural fertiliser, let's put it that way. Not even blood and bone or chicken pellets. Potatoes are self-seeding, the ones that I've forgotten in the ground. And some of these, this one in particular, is sprouting, and this came out of the trench when I was digging it. This is another one. Like I chopped it by accident when I was digging the trench. I'm going to try, I've just remembered while I was digging the trench that I'm not going to dig a trench anymore. Charles Dowding, no dig hero, puts his potatoes on the surface, and I should probably do that, or near to the surface. He just digs a small hole and puts the potato in. So I'm going to do that next time, but I've dug it again. So I've got a bucket full of black gold sieved compost that I've only just sieved, worms in it. I'm going to put that, sprinkle that in the bottom, put the potatoes on top, and then cover them over with a bit of dirt, or a bit of soil should I say. It's not dirt, it's lovely stuff, and see how we go again. So I'm breaking the rules here. This is not the traditional time for planting potatoes in Sydney. That is in September, but the shoulder seasons are everything in Sydney. I can't buy seed spuds at the moment because it's not the sort of accepted time, and so I'm using what I've got from around the garden. I've planted spuds everywhere in my time, and loads of them self-seed every year. So they're small, they're big, the ones at the surface that have gone green, and so I'm going to plant them fairly densely along the bottom of the trench, because some of them will work, some of them might not. And let's see if we can get a crop out of nothing. And the enormous amounts of broccoli. Did I tell you I got a broccoli head? So good. Just about to go to seed, but I got a broccoli head. And there's my trench of freshly planted potatoes and composted. Absolutely the perfect day to do all the transplanting and seeds. Overcast, just had 5 mil of rain. Hope you were out looking around your garden and seeing where the rain goes. I've composted Neptune, Uranus, Saturn and Jupiter. Uranus is where the garlic's going to go eventually, but I'll let these beans do their thing. So those beans went in ages ago when the corn was still there, and they were really floundering in amongst the corn, but they've started to perk up a bit since they got rid of it. And I've put some lettuce and spring onions in there just to get something growing in there. I've got about a month wait till the garlic comes. And these are the beans I put in last fortnight, looking good. And the kohlrabi's perked right up now it's got some full sun. I'm in Saturn where the tomatoes were a couple of days ago. Last fortnight I planted some seedlings. That is a bit of silver beet, and there is a cauliflower, I'm pretty sure it is. Broccoli is in the other end, you can see them. I've composted this bed so it looks fantastic, and you can see the seedlings, because before that you couldn't see a damn thing. And there's some leeks on the other side, a row of leeks. Now the leeks are looking alright, they've stayed put. The broccoli and the cauliflower were looking really sad yesterday when I did the compost, but now they've perked up a bit. But if I just show you the seedling from this, a month ago, you can see the difference. Like the one on the right there is probably double the age of the one on the left in the pot. And so I'm going to use these potted ones to replace some of the weaker looking manky ones. Like this one on the end is still tiny, it's still growing, but it's nothing like that in the pot. So yeah, I'll replace a few and get some decent growth going. And with the silver beet, this one survived all right. That one's just about hanging in there, but of the sort of 6 or 7 I put in here, those are the only 2 that have survived. And so I'll replace them with a whole row of half decent silver beet. There we go. Now it looks like I'm trying to grow some veggies rather than manage a plant hospital for the infirm. Eggplants are still on the go, still squidging 28 spot ladybugs. They have not given up at all. Some of the eggplants have fallen off once they've started going. I don't know whether that's because of the weather or me having to go and squidge stuff and interfering. So there's a load on here now. They're going to have to go. And just here is the offending parent. The 28 spot ladybug. What a pain it is. And then on the end here in Mars, it's a jungle. I've got rid of the pak choi, we ate some of it, and some of it went like this one has. All manky. And then the old watermelon mess on the end. And it's kind of the same story in Wickenbeg 6 here. I planted the leeks, which have done alright. There's a few carrots coming up in the middle that are from the last plantings, which I'll leave alone. But then the kale on this side, you can sort of see the straggly bits that are left after something's tried to nail it all. And just a quick scoot round the Wickenbeds. I've not got any imaginative names for Wickenbeds. They're just 1, 2, 3 down to 8. Silver beet, kohlrabi still going good. I've harvested the beetroot. Some basil down here that looks like it's going to go after looking like it was going to be eaten by something. Number 2 is full of seedlings that are looking a lot better now. I've replaced the dodgy looking ones. Bush beans, broccoli and cauliflower, and a bit of basil at the back and at the side here. More basil and bush beans, and some carrots on the far side where the plank sort of is. I lifted the plank up so the rain could get to them and wet them through, and now I will put the plank back now they're damp. 5 is basil again. We're going to have to do some serious pesto making. Spring onions, more kohlrabi, which is going really well, kohlrabi, loving it. Thank you to Chris from Kentridge Gardens for introducing me to kohlrabi. And then I think this is broccoli on the end here. The new seedlings gone in. They're looking a bit floppy. Number 6 is the spinach. Leeks, lots of leeks now. Lettuce and spring onions. and again a bit of basil, because you need a bit more basil. And then number 7, full of seedlings again, and again looking a lot better now. I've replaced some of them with more mature plants. And there's one kale in the middle. Lettuce on the end from last time, looking pretty good now. And then more broccoli in 8. Like the broccoli in the wicking beds doesn't grow to half the size of the broccoli in the ground, so that might be a lesson for the future. And more basil. And then yet more basil, and a few spring onions, and things trying to struggle underneath the burgeoning broccoli. This is this week's lot. And so there's been a couple of changes. No kale. I've put rocket in there, might be a bit early. And I was going to put onions in, but I don't have any seeds, so I put spring onions in. And I've got a packet of foxgloves, which I'm going to try and go with as well. Yes, that's about it. If you're interested in seeing what the rest of the garden looks like, I just put a little video on Instagram. If you're on it, it's something else. I can't see any paths at all anywhere. Got a couple of